they came because the weather conditions were much more suited to their needs, the food they needed, and so on. So that's why it came. And 65 million years ago is when an asteroid apparently hit the Earth, which is a recorded event, and
Right.
eventually killed the dinosaurs because the sun was blocked out with all the stuff that went up for 6 months or more, and they couldn't get food. Now that's the story we're told, and it's probably as good as any other idea. But yeah, I think they certainly existed, and
Yeah.
I don't think they do now, though. No, but I also liked Jurassic Park, the films.
Now, here's something I came up with while he was explaining the dinosaur theory about the fossils and stuff. Here's something that I came up with. So, do you believe there was ever a global flood? Do you believe it?
From like the story of Noah's Ark, you
Like the
mean?
story of Noah, but there are
Mm.
yeah, okay. So like the story of Noah, but there are tribes, and because I seen this documentary and I can't remember, it was Channel 4, and I saw it one night, and it was just, it wasn't exploring the biblical side of it. It was just exploring the human history of it, see if and he found out, this guy, I can't remember his name now. I'll have to go to Channel 4 on demand program. Anyway, but he explored this thing where he went to different parts of the world, different cultures, and different, and he would ask them this question, about, was there any stories that was passed down by their ancestors about there
Mm.
being ever been a flood, and they were like different tribes from around the world, and they had different versions of it.
Mm.
um, Nothing like the biblical one, but then, but they all had a similar story about a global deluge, sort of thing. And I thought about it. I thought, well, there could be some substance to that, because it's then being confirmed by different people from around the world, but in different ways. What do you make of it?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, presumably the research this guy did
Yeah,
with the people he asked, they would have traced back their generations, I suppose,
yeah, yeah,
hundreds or thousands of years to a story that's been passed down to them.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure in the past I've seen articles which say, oh, yeah, at a certain time in history, there was this huge global type flood following loads of monsoon type rains. And yeah, this could have been the story of Noah. And I think sometimes those sorts of stories come up, and some of them may, dare I say, hold water. Some of them may actually be true.
yeah,
But I think it's a bit too easy for someone to say, "Well, yeah, I've just discovered there was a flood there, and then an old battered ark was found by a tree," and it kind of gets embellished like that. So, no,
yeah,
where do I stand? I don't stand there at all because I've no idea. I've got no idea whether in history there is evidence of global flooding. I don't. I
yeah,
don't know whether that's a thing anyway.
yeah,
Could the Earth, could the world flood as one sort of thing? I don't know. So no, I don't.
yeah,
I don't have any meaningful comment to make on that.
yeah. Now I'll tell you why I brought that up. So I'm not saying it definitively to say, oh, this. I'm not saying it definitively to say, oh, this is why, or this is the reason why this and that happened. But I brought it up because, and this is only my theory. It's not backed by anything. But I'm just thinking, could that be what could have wiped out? Could that be what could have wiped out the dinosaurs? Because if there was a global flood,
Mm.
so that the dinosaurs couldn't survive it, because then they all drowned in it.
Yeah,
That could be plausible, couldn't it?
yes, it is. But I think the received wisdom, as they might say, that's been passed down is that the asteroid, I forget where it's supposed to have hit, but the asteroid killed them. And I suppose unless someone comes up with a better explanation of that, then that's the one that really sticks. I mean, I've
Yeah,
never heard the idea that a flood killed the dinosaurs.
yeah,
What we do know, though, is that the Earth is a dynamic, changing environment in so many ways. And,
absolutely.
we know we're part of a violent universe, really.
Hmm.
And so any number of things could have conspired to kill off a particular species. And clearly they were the most dominant species at the time. Um, Maybe there's a lesson for humans that maybe all species eventually run a risk of wiping themselves out. And I think
Yeah,
if humans, if they're going to do it at all, it will be by our own hand.
yeah,
Technology, nuclear, all these things. But let's hope we've learned lessons. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't. I would, if asked, I would subscribe to the view that the asteroid hit caused their demise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But even then, say for instance, you're subscribing to the view that the asteroids, like you said, kill them all. Wouldn't that have hurt other animals as well? I'm just thinking out loud here.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
And yet we know the birds survived. Perhaps I suppose they had the ability. Well, some dinosaurs could fly by all accounts, but birds survived, and I believe some crocodiles, alligators did too. So it didn't wipe out all species.
species, yeah,
But yeah, there must be lots of unanswered questions about all that.
yeah,
We're told in our young days how the dinosaurs were wiped out and so on, and I guess we go through life accepting these explanations until something better comes along with evidence.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a strange one.
Very true, very true. Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a lot more of these conspiracy theories, but you know, obviously some of them would uh, be out of the scope of our podcast, wouldn't it?